it,
And what about now?
and YouTube was saying, check your video resolution, the current resolution isn't working.
What if you reload? Is it totally plugged in? It's not showing.
It was just working right now.
No, the owl wasn't working, it was that camera we were on.
To be off. Plugged in on the other one? That other cable?
Are we muted to the public?
Yeah, we can't hear anything. Yeah, they're plugged in. You can. Okay.
It says muted.
That's right. Weird.
What do you mean?
Okay. And we are live.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry, folks out there, we had some technical difficulty. So we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order at 1:45 p.m. I'm virtually going to start all over again. So the Mendocino County Zoning Administrator meetings will be conducted virtually and not available for in-person public participation pursuant to provisions of the Government Code Section 54953 and the recommendations of the Mendocino County Health Officer. Meetings are live streamed and available for viewing on the Mendocino County YouTube page. So as I mentioned before, meeting is called to order at 1:45. Again, this is due to technical difficulties that we had with the video. May I please get a determination of noticing?
All items were properly noticed.
Thank you. This moves us to the regular calendar. Item 3A, case number UR 2021-0006. The owner is Conrad and Trudy Bauman. Applicant is Northern Nights Music Group LLC. The agent is Peter Hewson. The request is a use permit renewal and modification for an annual event known as the Northern Nights Music Festival during the third weekend of July 2022. The projected on-site camping capacity of the event is approximately 8,410 attendees in 8 designated camping areas spread over more than 25 acres. On the on-site parking capacity is approximately 3,144 vehicles and 170 recreational vehicles and trailers in 8 designated parking areas. Amplified music is proposed on the following days: 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the Thursday prior to the event, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. on the Friday of the event, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. on the Saturday of the event, and 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. on the Sunday of the event. The modification of the original use permit UR 2017-0002 would be to allow cannabis sales and consumption. The area in which the cannabis would be sold is proposed to be composed of 4 types of licensed participants, including cannabis event, organizer, retailer, distributors, and exhibitors. The project environmental determination, an addendum to the previous mitigated negative declaration, has been prepared. The project is located 2.5 plus minus miles north of Piercy, just south of the Mendocino Humboldt County line, lying on the east side of Highway 101, just south of the Cooks Valley exit, located at 83,950 County Road 442E. Assessor's parcel numbers 053-020-10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 16, located in the Piercy area. May I please get a staff report?
Thank you. This project straddles the Mendocino-Humboldt County lines, with most of the event taking place in Mendocino County. The combined properties associated with the proposal totals approximately 100 acres in Mendocino County and 60 additional acres in neighboring Humboldt County. The Eel River borders the south and east of the project site. The project was referred out to all applicable public agencies. The key issues identified with the project include Caltrans issues, environmental protection, noise, traffic and parking, camping, public safety, security, water supply, sanitary facilities, solid waste, food service, and alcohol service. These issues were addressed in the staff report, and if applicable, conditions of approval were added. In the project narrative, the applicant lists quite a few requirements and rules to address cannabis sales and consumption. Staff has added a number of conditions of approval with the same wording to regulate cannabis activities. As noted earlier, the event organizer has indicated that the previous attendance figures approved in 2018 are forecast to be the same. along with camping, music venues, and the number of days the event is to be held. The difference with this permit renewal is a proposal to add cannabis sales and consumption at the event. The project was found to be consistent with the Mendocino County General Plan and zoning ordinance, and all of the required findings were made. Staff recommends that the zoning administrator adopt an addendum to the previous mitigated negative declaration and approve UR 2021-0006, which would include the following: the holding of a 4-day music and camping event with up to 8,410 attendees, and with the addition of cannabis sales and consumption. It should be noted that all previous conditions of approval of the use permit 2013-005 and subsequent modifications, UM 2013-0005, UM 2014-0011, and UM 2017-0002 also will remain and shall be adhered to, along with the conditions of approval associated with this entitlement request or renewal request. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Was any correspondence received from members of the public on this item?
No, there was no correspondence.
Okay, thank you. At this point, do we have any members representing the application online that wish to speak on this matter?
Peter Houston,
Mr. Houston,
No.
you there?
promote him to. Mr. Houston, good afternoon. You'll need to unmute yourself.
Good afternoon.
This is your opportunity to speak on behalf of the applicant.
Yeah, I'm here to just make sure that you guys knew we were here. And number two, to say thank you for the information. And if there's any direct questions that anybody has, we're here to answer. And there's only one item that we wanted to address.
Okay, go ahead.
Our initial request was for a 6-year renewal. We have previously in the zoning administrator hearings on the last permit hearing, we had requested a 5-year, and they had told us that because of it was a step up in attendance, they wanted to ensure that we could go ahead and meet the conditions of approval with the steps up in attendance. We've demonstrated that. And we'd like to, this is a repeat essentially with one additional amendment to the previous conditions of approval. So we'd like to respectfully request that we can operate this event for the next 6 years under this renewal.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it. And we're just know that we're here to answer any additional questions.
All right. Staff, do we have any issues with a 6-year renewal?
No, staff doesn't have any issues.
So right now, basically what's being proposed is a 3-year renewal, taking this out to 2025. As mentioned by Mr. Hewson, initial requests for the project were for 6 and 5 years and so on, and based on performance and adherence to the conditions. Can you elaborate why we went to 3 years, or why staff recommended 3 years?
In a previous staff report, the project planner noted that it was staff procedure to only approve use permit renewal for the specific amount of time that was called for in the first governing use permit, which was 3 years.
Mm-hmm. In the first governing use permit. What about subsequent renewals?
That's kind of what the thinking was. We'll just renew it for the same amount of time as what was originally approved. So in this case, 3 years.
Uh-huh. Are there any issues or any conflicts with regards to environmental issues that may pose a problem looking at a 6-year term as opposed to the 3-year term?
No, looking at the previous use permit conditions, there was nothing that was tied to calendar dates or anything like that.
And we've not received any complaints from the public or from the service providers like police and fire?
No, there were no complaints.
Okay, all right, thank you. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak on behalf of the application?
If you'd like to speak, please use the raise hand feature. Should be able to find it at the bottom of your screen. I don't see anyone
All right.
requesting to speak.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. And are there any members of the public that wish to speak on this matter? This is your opportunity to do so. I see 2 other names on the screen, Andrew and Amber. Are you representing the application, or are you members of the public that wish to speak on this matter? You're both muted.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? This is Andrew
Yes,
Borg.
go ahead.
Yes, no, I'm one of the partners with Northern Nights Music Festival, so just representing the applicant.
Okay. And Amber, are you representing the applicant or a member of the public?
You're not coming through, Amber. Peter, you may speak.
They're both part of the applicant. They're
Okay, great.
one's yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't see any concerns.
If you guys wanna speak,
What's that?
Amber, go ahead and unmute. You might be double muted.
We could barely hear you.
We can hear that there might be sound, but we can't make out what you're saying.
Amber, go ahead. Don't hear anything. Peter, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, Amber just texted me. She's having a hard time on Wi-Fi wise. She just wanted me to reiterate that she's on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, great. That's good to know. All right. Okay, so in looking at the information here presented in the staff report, and obviously staff has reiterated there are no issues or conflicts with allowing a 6-year term versus a 3-year term. The zoning administrator has no issues with amending the conditions of approval, specifically 1 and 4, to allow for the 6-year term. So if we allowed the 6-year term, condition 1 would be changed to read, the term of this entitlement shall be limited to a 6-year term or 6-year period starting July 21st, 2022 and ending on July 20th, 2028. Condition number 4, total attendance for 22 through 28 events shall be limited to no more than 8,410 campers, attendees, including staff, both paid and unpaid artists and vendors. Applicant shall submit a post-event report within 30 days following each event, providing evidence of compliance with each condition of approval. Failure to comply with the conditions or approval may result in the decreased attendance cap or amplified music or modification. And I'll also add at the end, or reduction of permit term. And going through the conditions of approval, I don't see anything else that would need to be modified. So with that, I'm prepared to approve the project, subject to the findings contained within the staff report, as well as the conditions of approval modifying condition 1 and 4 to provide for the 6-year term based on the evidence provided here during this hearing, which includes the staff report, the addendum, the testimony before the zoning administrator. Mr. Houston, do you have any questions?
I don't, and just want to reiterate and say thank you to Mendocino County, and we will continue to operate this as responsible as we have. We appreciate the opportunity to do so.
All right, thank you. And so with that, your project is approved based on the modified conditions of approval and subject to the findings contained in the staff report, as well as the addendum that was done to the mitigated neck deck. And with that, we move on to item number 4. Do we have any matters from staff? Seeing none. Do we have any matters from the public? This is the opportunity for the zoning administrator to welcome participation in meetings. This item is limited to matters under the jurisdiction of the zoning administrator that are not on the posted agenda and items that have not already been considered by the zoning administrator. And again, no action will be taken. Do we have any members of the public that wish to speak under this matter? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the zoning administrator, and with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 2:01 p.m. Thank you very much.